You're not making money with AI.
Hi,
Hello, hello. I'm so
26
glad you could
people in
join.
the room.
Yeah,
It's good. I saw your text message. That's exciting.
a text message. I did not send a text message.
Well, you just said you're very excited, which is
Oh,
lovely.
ah, all right. People are coming in.
Oh,
I've
nice.
got the YouTube going as well, so hopefully people are going to get in
Fantastic.
there if they can.
Hmm.
Hello, everyone. I've got everyone on mute. I'm not letting anyone unmute other than Karen and myself because I'm going to be talking at you for 3 hours almost nonstop. If
Oh,
someone
no.
reminds me, I'll give you a break of 5 minutes between sessions. But we don't have a whole lot of time to cover three full courses today. Most of what I'm going to be doing today is just going through the labs. I'll do a little brief introduction to the courses, and that's about it.
Excellent. It sounds great. Sounds
Should be
great. We're
fun.
excited.
Did everybody get a chance to do the labs from last time? From course one? I said last time, some of you might have been here on Monday when I did the one-off. So that's what I meant. And I should turn off everything else that's running on my computer. That would be a very good idea, except I'm not that smart.
So, where's everybody come from today then? Please add it in the chat. We'd love to know. You just wait for a few more people to attend, Maya.
Yeah, I think so. Just a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
India, 7:30 p.m. Germany, 4 p.m. And I know all this in my head. Netherlands, Bay Area. Bay Area. I assume you mean Silicon Valley Bay Area, in which case, thank you for waking up early on a Saturday morning. London, UK. Yay!
Yeah, like that. India.
Chennai. Okay.
Mm, covering quite a lot of ground there.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I should warn you guys, we have about 600 plus people RSVP'd on Meetup. I don't know how many will show up here, but if we cross the 100 mark, then people will be overflowing into YouTube. So smart of you guys to show up early.
Excellent.
Karen's going to try to keep an eye on the YouTube chat,
Oh, yes.
but
Thank you for that reminder.
I'm going to keep an eye on this chat here simply because hey, I thought I turned off the waiting room. Let me turn that off. No,
No, it is off,
I
I
will
think.
admit
People are coming in.
all. I thought I had admitted all already, but oh my, 57, 58, 50. We are going to overflow, I think.
Mm,
Yeah. Welcome, welcome, everyone. I'm just giving people a couple of minutes to catch up and show up, and then we'll start in earnest. And if you would like to tell us where you're from, drop it in the chat. I'm not enabling unmuting for anyone. As I was saying, we have
We've got
we're
some people
still getting
on
people
YouTube
in the
already.
waiting room. A couple of minutes to catch up and show up, and then we'll start in earnest. Karen, could you mute your YouTube thingy?
Sorry?
I'm hearing somebody's YouTube. I think that's yours, Karen.
Okay.
It's a little disconcerting to hear myself from a minute ago.
Sorry.
Canada, yes, one more. I'm in Canada. So all we're going to do today is I'm going to briefly go over the content. There is a whole YouTube playlist that you can grab. In fact, I'll drop that in here. Google has the full playlist there for the training. And what we can do is I'm going to briefly describe what's in each course. We're covering 3 courses today. And then we'll just go into the labs because honestly, it's the labs that's going to make it more useful for all of us. Can I listen in the background? Of course, you can listen in the background. This is recorded, right? So you'll get a link to the recording. Plus, it's also live on YouTube. So there's multiple options to grab it. And I hope all of you got the email that said we're going to get, that we're going to join on Zoom, and this is the link for it. If not, please tell me because I'm fighting with my tool to send email notifications out. I got 3 notifications, so I'm hoping you guys got at least 1. And Karthikeyan, we are doing Google AI Professional Certificate. That's the one we're trying. You did not get an email. Good to know. So how did you find us then? You just went to the event and found it? I did put messages on all the events, so hopefully you found it there. All right, so that is still annoying. Yeah, you got me. I only sent emails last night and then this morning. You saw the comments on Meetup. Perfect. All right, I am going to pull up my screen and share it. There we go. No, why do I keep doing this? No, I'm not allowing multiple presenters. I'm sorry. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is grab the Google Drive. Copy that. I'm going to put that in the chat. Google Drive for today. It's here. There's also, this is all in your attendee handout, and the attendee handout is right here in the Google Drive. So you will see it as soon as you click on the drive. The recording of each day's session, I am not very good at putting up recordings, but the good news is we're live streaming simultaneously. So just go to the live streams on our channel and see it there.
Okay, so maybe Marge, just summarize what the study group is and what it is not. Would that be helpful to kick off?
I am very sure it would be helpful. You want to lead with that? I'm evil. Okay, so the study group is literally, we're going to be focusing on the Google AI Professional Certificate. It's a free certificate if you get it through Google AI Skills. If you go through Coursera, you have to pay at least for 1 month. But don't focus on that right at this moment, because what I want to do is go through all the 7 courses that are in that certificate. And then, after the weekend, you guys can go to Google AI Skills. I'll send you the link, sign up there. There's a free trial. And because we're doing all of this, all the labs that they do in there, we are doing a version of that here today and tomorrow. So you will have plenty of practice. And you know what? Practice more before you take the test, right? So sign up only when you're ready because you only get a 7-day trial. And some of the quizzes, like the mini exams at the end of each session, are limited. Some of them are, you can take it as many times as you want until you get it right, but some of them only give you 3 tries per day. So then that drags it out. So you don't want to use up your 7 days. Bottom line, stick with me, pay attention today and tomorrow, review like I said, we're live streaming on YouTube at the same time. So review that. Um, and, anything you want is still in there. Feel free to drop questions as comments on the YouTube video as well, because Karen's keeping an eye there. Plus,
Yeah.
if you after the live stream is done, if you want to have questions answered and you can't find a way to reach me or Karen directly, just drop a question on the YouTube video and we'll respond there. That way others can see it too. Or of course you can message us on Meetup or LinkedIn, we're everywhere. Okay, so if you are all ready, let's go take a look at the handout. The official YouTube playlist is right there. This is the Google Drive. I dropped that in the chat just now. You might want to save that. You can also save chat. So if top of your screen, there should be three little dots on the chat. Top of the chat screen, there should be three little dots and you can click Save Chat. All right, so if you are all ready, let's go into presentation mode. There we go. We all know what we're doing here. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. So I will try to answer, but I'll try to answer at the end of each section rather than interrupt myself in the middle. So today's first course is AI for brainstorming and planning. If you've been using AI at all, you probably already know this, right? And the tools we're going to use are Google Gemini and Notebook LM. Okay, so 3 hands-on modules, and we're doing one running example throughout the whole thing. We're assuming everybody's working at a job, or you've got, a business where you're going to hire people at some point. So all we're doing is we're trying to automate that onboarding process for new hires so that you don't have to do it from scratch or keep all the ideas in your head all the time. Makes it easier that way. Karen, there's still people saying they're waiting in the waiting room. Nope, we are full up here.
Hang
So
on a minute.
no, there was someone commenting on YouTube that they were in the waiting room. So you're gonna, if there's
All right,
anyone
yeah, they
else,
were
they're
full
going to
now.
have,
There were
yeah.
a few spaces.
Okay,
Apologies, everybody.
I will send you the link, Abhinav. There is a way to get this for free. You can search on skills.google.com, and that certificate is in there. That's also the same official certificate. The difference is that if you do it through Coursera, you pay for it, but it also gives you the advantage that they apparently connect you with companies that are looking to hire someone with that certificate. So, it's a good thing to pay that $50 if you're looking for a job that, that you can get right away, hopefully, assuming you can ace this. Anyway, back to the session roadmap. We'll do module 1, brainstorming and evaluating the ideas. Then we do a risk assessment. Then we do the knowledge hub. That's actually fun if you've not used Notebook LM. And a quick wrap up, right? So the core concept is just how we're working with AI on the big, messy problems. So this is not just for onboarding, right? You've got a new business launch coming up or a new product launch, or you've got just a bunch of scattered documents. Nothing has just one right answer. So the point is that you still have to be guiding. So first thing you do, you think about the problem and frame it. What are you trying to solve? Why are you trying to solve it? Right? AI can't do this thinking for you because only you know your business, you know your work. If you're a student, what are you trying to achieve? You also supply the context. The AI does not have any idea about your team, your customers, your budget, your course flow, whatever. You have to give it all the details, and then whatever answer it gives, it's your responsibility to make sure that it's giving you the answer you want. Okay, so first module is module 1. We're going to brainstorm and evaluate the ideas. Usually we start with a blank page, and that can be the most frightening thing of all because sometimes our brain just goes blank. Almost worse than that is when you've got a whole bunch of options and you can't prioritize, or you don't you don't know which one. Gemini is not going to tell you which one is correct, but it can guide you along the path. So what you do is brainstorm. You give Gemini a persona, you give it the context. This is what my business does, or this is what I'm doing in school, your task, and then it gives you a big set of options. You evaluate those options against the real criteria, validate them, and automate them. That works for basically anything, whether it's, a marketing campaign, whether you're trying to launch a new product and you're trying to figure out which feature comes first, or you're just doing market research, right? Anything where you've got too many ideas is going to be something you can do with AI. Okay, I see one question here. Are these slides available to us? They will be available to you. They're not available to you right now because I'm not putting them up there, am I? Okay, so this first lab, we are just going to go into gemini.google.com. I'll put that right there so I don't have to scrape for it. Okay, that was not a smart idea. Okay, start a new chat. If you don't know how to start a new chat, it's just literally go up here to the top left, and there's a new chat button. And of course, this is my account. It's a free account, by the way, hence that big giant upgrade button. And the big giant text is also because I'm deliberately doing big giant text so that you guys can all see it when I type. And here's the scenario. You're revamping your company's new hire onboarding. It will carry through all 4 modules. Start a new chat. Step 1. By the way, this is also, if you go in here and look at course 2 in your Google Drive, you've got the labs and prompts right in there. So it's all there. Yeah, this is the prompt. And then here are the instructions on what to do. So let's just copy that prompt, paste it into Gemini. I want to tell it what we do. We sell widgets for TVs on Amazon. I'm just inventing that. So now it's already figured out that's an e-commerce operation. Pretty obvious. So you can follow along with me, and I would say you probably should. So start up Gemini and do that. Put that prompt in there. Okay, prompt here. Just in case you're not looking at that. So there you go. Here's a simple onboarding flow. All right. So that took what, seconds? And again, when you're doing your homework, which is basically practice what we're learning here, make it yours. Swap that onboarding program for whatever it is that you're actually doing right now at work or in school. I would not encourage you to do your homework using AI, but you can definitely ask it to help you research a topic for which you have to create a presentation, for example. So here, as you can see, there's a persona there, which is you're an employee and HR expert. The context is my company is revamping this thing, but I also gave it more context that we're doing widgets on Amazon, selling widgets. And the task is brainstorm those elements for me. All right. Okay, so everyone respond, please. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're done with that. Okay. All right, I'm seeing a few ones. Perfect. All right, step 2 is the cost-benefit table. So we're going to do a cost-benefit analysis. And again, I'm just going to go to the prompts, copy that from there, and paste it into Gemini in the same chat because we are just following the same example. This is again prompt chaining. This is what you learned in lesson one if you did the labs there. If you didn't do the labs there, go back and do them at the end of the day. Although if you're practicing this with me, maybe that's not needed. Okay, so I'll put that in the chat here again so that you guys can do it too. And that's it. So it's given me everything I asked for, the cost. Nothing is really low, really high cost, and everything has a high benefit. So I would say I would probably start with the easiest ones, pretty low, and get that done first, and then layer in the others. All right. Again, drop a 1 in the chat if you're done. I love this. You guys are so quick. So as we said, look for the high benefit, low cost items. Those are your shortlist. These are the ones you prioritize. Yeah. In my case, medium benefits and yeah, low cost ones are the first, then medium, then high cost. And everything you're looking for is high benefit, and then medium benefit, low benefit takes the tail end. So look at
Maya,
this. Yeah.
can I just check? Are these prompts in your handouts? Because
Yes, they are. They are.
they are okay.
They are. So in Coursera
Okay, because
course two,
those on YouTube, I can't copy and paste the prompts. They're too long for the chat comments. So
got it.
if you can have a look on the handout, please, if you're
I
unable
pinned
to.
the drive there. So go into the Google Drive, and in there in the weekend intensive, you will see courses 2, 3, and 4. We're looking at course 2 right now. And there's the labs and prompts for course 2. AI for brainstorming. So as you see, then they're all in there. So again, you notice that instead of thinking about this for a while and then 20 minutes of manual sorting, it's one follow-up prompt in the same window. And Gemini already knows your ideas. You haven't left that conversation, so it's still going on, and we're going to continue the conversation for the next one as well. What are some current trends? So now we're researching the industry trends. And when you do that, always check the sources and make sure that, this is where basically Gemini is giving you an informed second opinion, but it's still going to be you making that final choice, right? You don't have to accept everything it suggests. Again, back to the prompt. And all we're doing is copying that prompt in and pasting that into Gemini. And folks on YouTube, go get it from the drive.
Yep, I've just popped the link in for the
Oh,
drive.
thank you.
Again.
It's pinned at the top as well. It's that big thing there. Hopefully they can see it. You don't see the labs and prompts. It's not a labs and prompts folder. It is in, okay, go to the Google Drive. You'll see course 2. You need to go into course 2. And the Google AI certificate thing, let me just grab it for you again. Share that link, copy the link, and drop it in the chat. That's that Google Drive again. So while we were doing that, we've got some answers from Gemini about zero-touch onboarding, pre-boarding. So this is pretty much what we did yesterday, right? I sent out that little note about do those labs if you get time. So yeah, everything basically The idea is that we automate as much as we can and then reduce the load on the humans. We also try to customize it. Anyway, all of that, you can read whatever came back with yours. Mine was this sample, but that's not what you necessarily have for yourself. And it gives you options there. And someone's looking at the tabs on my screen. Smart, Kiran. The AI free trials 2026 was just me trying to find the link directly to find where the free Gemini 30-day trial is. When I look, I keep getting the 14-day trial, which is very annoying, but maybe they've changed it within the last week because I think I got the 30-day trial earlier. Anyway, now step three, which is we're going to research. No, we just did that. Step three was research the industry trends. Step four is schedule this to run once a month. Yeah. So let's go do that. And it'll basically update you every month. You don't have to remember to do it. It will do it. And that's the best part of this is that you took something that was going to take you time every month. You A, did it faster, and B, you've now got it automated so that it'll do it every month for you. Oh, that's nice. I think you might have to do something with the command line to do this. So once a month, come back in here, put a reminder on your phone to come in here and just say do the next one. And when you say yes, it'll go look at that again. And this is the prompt for number 4. Let me know when you guys are done with 4 and we'll move on to the next module. All right. Yeah, thank you. So again, just a brief summary. We started with a blank page. We got ideas that we could evaluate by cost and benefit, checked against industry trends, and at least we didn't do the recurring research, but we at least managed to put an appointment on our phone. So is there anything on your desk this week that you could run through the same sequence? Robert, you probably do, but we haven't got to that yet. Robert's asking if we need to enable connectors for this monthly update. All right. Next module is risk assessment. So basically now Google's Gemini will look at a plan that you give it and tell you now what's likely to break, where are the risks. You won't notice them yourself. I've done this so many times when I'm designing things. AI can help you because it doesn't care, right? It's not a project that you build, it's your baby. A project that Gemini looks at, nobody's baby. It just finds the gaps. It'll also build the timeline for you. It'll assess the impact of that gap. And straight into lab 2. Same thing. Same problem, but now we're looking at what could go wrong. Now we're starting a new chat this time. We're not doing the same old chat. So let's do a new chat. Ask Gemini. And again, I'm going to grab, this time I'm going to grab, if you see on the left, it's got lab 1, lab 2, lab 3 in there. Go to lab 2. No, not dictionary. And it's the same setup. You're going to paste this. You're an expert program manager. paste that in there. Attach my plan or do it in a sequence. Well, we can just go copy the plan from the last time, which was right there. Yeah, you can just copy some. Skills first diagnostic is what you want. And let's do that. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm taking that into my new chat. Oh, that's annoying. And I say, are there any dependencies missing? Yeah, I'm running this in a new chat, so a new context. And it's telling me where the gaps are. Well, they're critical and they're missing. Now, what I didn't do, obviously, since I only copied the last two, is I didn't look at the technical and data dependencies or the resource dependencies. So similarly, like whatever it is that you're giving it, it'll give you responses based on that. And since I'm the program manager, it's going to give you a little bit more context. Would you like a framework? I don't know if I want a framework right now. So your one task is to pick one gap that feels most real and most risky. So this is step 2. We're going to assess the risk, which is from the previous one, we pick one idea. Again, put that in the chat. And let's go stick it in here. And the missing dependency that Gemini flagged, I'm going to do a resource allocation sign off. And ask it, how does this affect the launch date? Folks on YouTube, I hope you're also able to find these prompts as we're going. My apologies that I can't be answering questions on both, but drop your questions in there, Karen's keeping an eye on that. All right, onboarding content ready. The 1 to 2 week friction window before you can launch, they need that. So again, it's walking me step by step, like a good advisor would. So this is the kind of thing that people used to pay consultants to do. Look at my plan, analyze how it's doing, do a SWOT analysis on it, strengths and weaknesses. So Gemini will tell you if it's on the critical path, which it did, how many days of slip it could cause, all of that. So the first option is make sure everybody does their sign off. Otherwise, you do a phased rollout, which is recommended. If you've got large companies, that makes more sense. You start it, right? That kind of guide in the middle of the session. All right, and then now we want key milestones for that same dependency and flag what's missing. So this time I'm not going to type in the dependency. I'm just going to paste that in and remove the brackets from it. This is Gemini free plan. So George, this is going to be nowhere near as good as Claude Fable 5 or the latest of any of the servers, right? Any of the LLMs. right now, this is just doing good enough. This is a free plan. So there you go. It's created a nice little launch timeline for you. Formal KPI relief is important. Since this is a Mickey Mouse example, that's okay. And it's telling me right there what's missing. And we can always go back and repeat for the other steps. In the interests of time, I am not going to do that. Now you can take this output and stick it straight into a project brief or a Slack message to your team, right? Or of course, put it into a nice little presentation for your manager. Tom and Jerry's. I have no idea who Tom and Jerry are in this context. I keep thinking I am both Tom and Jerry, but we'll figure it out. So basically what we did in lab 2, I know we went really fast through it, but the whole idea is to give you an example, an idea of how useful this app is, Google Gemini, and how you can use it. So it found the gaps, it quantified the impact, and it built the recovery plan, right? Again, are you aware of anything in your organization or your business that's got a silent gap like this that you didn't notice? And I'm not expecting you to have that answer right away, but run your samples through Gemini or whatever LLM. Actually, it should be able to do the same thing. And then it's module 3. This is the fun one. We're going to play with Notebook LM. And the problem is, you know how Wikipedia exists, and you've often got SharePoint or a company wiki. And the problem is people do not take the initiative to go look it up. What Notebook LM does, and that is notebooklm.google.com. And I have it open here, but I'm going to close that one and just click there. So I'm doing the same thing you're doing, create a new notebook. Yeah, and there we go. So what a Notebook LM does is it takes all the sources you give it. So all your internal documents, or if you've got a website, you know, everything that's on that website, FAQs, whatever, stick it all in the notebook. And then Notebook will create ways to respond to that, you know, you can get an audio summary, you can get video summaries. It creates a little, what do you call it? A little podcast, a short podcast, talking about what's in the documents. And again, the big difference with Notebook is it looks only at the documents you gave it. It's a very closed box. It does not do a web search, does not do anything else. What you can do, though, is you can tell Notebook to go find from the web, or tell Gemini, rather, to go find from the web appropriate documents, like if you're doing research, and put the links to those documents into Notebook, and then it will look only at those notebooks. So for this, we're going to lab 3. I have not figured out where Notebook LM stores its contents. As long as I can find them, I'm quite happy. All right, so we're going to Notebook LM. We already clicked on that. Create new notebook. Upload any documents that you have. If you don't have documents, what we've done is provided you a sample set of documents in here, in the sample docs in course 2. So again, course 2, sample docs. And you can just point it to that. So that's actually what I'm going to do, is I'm going to share that sample docs link. And put that in here. No, not do that, into the notebook. Docs are in a folder on my Google Drive. Could you clarify, Ron, what you mean when you ask if Notebook LM is collaborative? But that is hilarious. Import. No, that's not what I meant. Don't do what I just did. Okay. So I'm going to start yet another notebook. Notebook.lm.google.com. Create new. And this time, I'm literally going to upload those documents in there. Add sources. Google Drive, there we go. Shared with me. No. You guys will use the shared with me. I will use my own drive because that's what I've got. There we go. We've got all 4 documents. 1, 2, 3. It won't let me select all, so one at a time. Go insert. That is really annoying. Seriously? One at a time? Yep, that is one at a time. So again, my drive. Paste in the darned link to add source. Go back to drive. I think we should tell Google that this is a ridiculous, totally ridiculous way to do it one at a time. And the last one. But if you have the patience to get this done, this is going to be super useful. Oh, thank you. Someone actually managed to figure out how to do it quickly. Yay. All right, so what we have is we've got 4 documents there. I did not mean to click that. So where did my notebook go? There we go. So this is an imaginary person called Jordan Reyes at Brightline Analytics. And it's already, if you can see, done summarizing there for each of these. The source guide. Fun. Okay, where was I? Right? Back to our actual lab. We're doing this. We've signed in. We've gone past all of this. So we've done step 1, open up notebook. Step 2, upload the docs. Now is the bit where you do ask questions and then review answers. So what happens on a new hire's first day? You should try it, George. You want to know what happens with Notion? I think it should be able to read all the same content, same way. So there you go. I did not have to look at the document. If I'm a manager and I just don't want to be bothered going and reading everything manually, going and figuring it all out, here's a very simple agenda that I can do. I can hand this over to an intern and say, go make that happen. Yeah. What are the key milestones? Anastasia, we're not going to be doing the tests in here. Sorry, that would be cheating. I'm simply going to um, help you get practice in the labs, and then you do the quiz yourself. I'll warn you that for me, the data analysis one was the tough one. I had to retake that test over and over until I got it. That also happened to be one of those tests where you can only do it 3 times in one day. So that's course number 6. We'll do that tomorrow. And then check the answers, right? Always, always check. So it's saying this. It's telling you literally where it got each answer from. You can see this bit, the formal 30-day review came from the first 30-day schedule.pdf. We're in course 2 and lab 3 or lab 4, I can't even remember. Yeah, lab 2. Sorry, lab 3. So now what you can do is you've got your questions answered. I hope you've got your questions answered. Drop a 1 if you've got them done. Now this thing assumes that you're on a team plan. You've got colleagues that are already in here also working with you. The beauty of this is you can create, someone in HR maybe can create a notebook and then share it with the whole team. You can write a welcome note for your teammates. You can save it and send it. I'm not going to do all that, but I will show you where that is. Right up here, you see a share. You can click that. You can give it a group. You can give it whatever. It's also in the wrong Google email. Like everybody else, I have multiple Gmails. So there we go. That's it. That's how simple it is to use Notebook. Oh, and you know what? Since we're here, why don't I start? No, before I do that, go back up. I'll show you right here, for example, things you can do with Notebook. You can create a slide deck, and it will actually do that. It can create an infographic for you. It can create a quiz for you. If you are studying for an exam, put your docs in there and have it quiz you. You can also do audio overview. You can get the certificate by taking the official Google certification. And it's free for 7-day trial. So go to skills.google.com and search for Google AI Professional Certificate. It's right in there. It's one of their paths. And that's a 7-day trial. So don't do that until you're ready, right? Do this course or go through their videos on YouTube, practice the labs. Practice the labs enough that you're really confident, then take that 7-day trial. So this is it. You've got videos. It gives you a video overview, which is basically the podcast. Sorry, the audio overview is the podcast. So it's an AI podcast. Or it can create an explainer video. I'm feeling brave. I'm going to click that. Shall we do that as a short? What visual style do you want? I like whiteboarding, so generate. So it's sitting there and doing all its stuff. And don't do this, guys, because I might be using up every token I have available for free. Someone's asking how many days will it take to do all the labs? I would say spend a good 2 days practicing, but to do the exam, start to finish, it took me 10 hours because I'm using AI every day, right? Karen and I do it all the time in here. We use Claude, we use Gemini, we use ChatGPT. I use a few others. It's fun. Do you have to install all the stuff in the studio? No, you don't need it for this course. For the advanced courses, you probably will, but not for this one. So that's it. If you've joined the company before and become the person that everybody asks about one particular thing, that is a perfect candidate for Notebook LM. I have a horrible habit. I like being the local expert. So when I'm taking on something, I like to find out everything about it. I will talk to all the stakeholders. I will get links to every document that I need. So it wound up at every job that people came back to me over and over to ask questions. Before Notebook LM existed, I tried putting an internal company wiki. I tried putting things in Notion, SharePoint. The problem is people are not necessarily willing to help themselves. This is one more way you can help them. Just say, this is the notebook for this particular piece of information. Everything you need in there is in there. And you can just point people to that. That also saves you a lot of work, a lot of time in your workday too. So this is it. We're done. We're actually 10 minutes early. I was going to be very delighted if we got 5 minutes between sessions, but we have more than 10 minutes. So I'm ready now to do questions. Yes, people on YouTube also managed to select all four at the same time. Mine wasn't doing it. That was for uploading documents to Notebook LM. So this is what we've done, right? We've used Gemini as a brainstorming partner. We've got it as a devil's advocate slash an expert to look over your shoulder and fill gaps and point out the gaps. This is especially useful when you are, for example, evaluating two options. Which one should I do, for example? That can be in personal life, in business, in career, whatever. And it can help you figure out, like if you're leaning strongly towards one, tell it what you're leaning towards and why. And it can help you either decide, yes, that is the right path, or at least point out what you're overlooking in your excitement. Which, if you've started a company, if you started a job, if you're, you know, just going exploring something, it quite often will happen that you're all fired up with enthusiasm, so much so that you're not seeing the pitfalls, right? It's like Wile E. Coyote chasing that poor roadrunner full speed, and he doesn't notice that, the roadrunner can fly. He falls off the edge of the cliff. You don't want to fall off the edge of that cliff. And of course, we learned how to use this as your wiki. Sorry, were you saying something, Karen?
We've got a question on YouTube asking how can we get access to the test? You mentioned it, but maybe just cover it briefly again.
Depending on which test you're talking about, if you're talking at the end of lesson, end of each course test, you can't get that here. You have to sign up and do the official course. And that's on skills.google.com. And you can do that. Someone said advanced uses. George is asking for advanced uses of Notebook LM. I'm going to be very cheeky, George. I'm going to start a new chat. Can you tell me some advanced uses for Notebook LM? I don't just want to use it as an internal document repository. What I can already tell you, George, is that you can use it to brainstorm ideas for, what's popular on YouTube if you're making YouTube videos. As a content creator, it's a brilliant way for you to do that. Here you go. it's given me a whole bunch of answers. And by the way, anytime you have a question about what it can do, you can you just literally go into whatever your favorite LLM is and ask it questions. You can, right now, for example, I can go to ChatGPT and ask the same question. What are some advanced uses for Google's notebook LM? Like it does not even have to be straight Google. My preferred ones, I love it really for brainstorming, for more for future research than for things that are, documents I already have. So if I've got like a new topic I want to teach about, then I will go look up 5, 6, 7, maybe more websites. I don't want to sit there and synthesize all of that myself. I'm lazy. I point those websites in, I point Notebook LM into those. Stefan, again, it would be nice to tackle the questions that are popping up in the quizzes, but that would be too much like cheating. I can tell you that this is a very introductory course, so the quizzes are pretty, if you've been paying attention and you've been doing the labs, the quizzes are self-explanatory. They're really not tough.
My Rowan has asked a question in the chat as well. Is talking about a bit of context. He appreciates the effort you're putting into creating the prompts in the Word document, but how does copy pasting that into an LLM help us with the AI certification? What are we trying to achieve through running these prompts? They're kind of like a big picture question.
That is, okay, all that this Google AI Professional certificate is intended for is to tell a future employer or, a future somebody who's deciding whether to take you into their course if you're joining a university, that you know how to use an AI at the basic level, right? So that you know how to generate images, that you know how to ask prompts, that you know how to create a notebook and use that. Like, how do you use AI to its fullest capacity? The final lab for tomorrow is actually agentic AI. So it's really, we're building on the skills that you need to be able to use AI effectively in your job every day. So if you're going to be a marketing intern, for example, Notebook LM is extremely useful. So is generating images, so is generating video. Like all of those bits, we're layering on these little skills as we go.
Yeah, and I think that I, I think the question actually is one step down from that in terms of, how is this benefiting them by literally copying and pasting prompts?
It's a shortcut. That's all it is. You can do it yourself, start from scratch and do that. But until that's right now, I'm just trying to get through the course. That's all it is. So copying and pasting is faster. That's literally the answer. Karen, you got anything to add to that?
I think, yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line. We're trying to help you get through the course because a lot of people will want to do a course and never get around to finishing it. So this is one way of kind of accelerating that process. But two, copying and pasting, it takes you through the process, doesn't it? You're thinking about what you're doing, hopefully. You're actually thinking, well, what is this prompt? What is it asking? How is it structured? And what is the response that it gets? How's that linked, and then where does that take you next? So yeah, it's just accelerating the process, but it's not just a matter of copying and pasting blindly. At the same time, you should be thinking about what is it that you're copying and pasting, and what results are you getting, and what does that mean for you in your understanding of AI and how to use Google in that
Yeah.
respect.
And Doreen was just asking about how to add websites in. So when you say add sources, Doreen, this is Notebook. I just clicked add sources and you see it can go search the web for you, or you can you can click on websites and give it the link and you can paste in whatever links you want. Yeah, this whole thing is just the copy paste is literally just about saving you the effort of thinking and coming up with your own prompts. Um, okay, first of all, I'm going to tell you there's just like 4 minutes left to the next course starting. If you guys need a bio break, if you need to go get a drink of water, eat a quick snack, go do that. The first few minutes, of course, will just be me giving you a very high level intro, and then we'll go into labs for course 3. The difference between the Coursera and the Google Skills literally gives you a 7-day free trial in which you can do the quizzes and you can earn the certificate. Coursera, on the other hand, has a free trial, 7 days also, but it does not let you take the quizzes and it does not let you get the certification. So you have to pay if you're using Coursera. Payment is the same on both as $49 for a month if you want to go the paid route. The advantage of using Coursera for the paid route is you get a 90-day free trial of Google AI. With Google Skills, you only get a 30-day free trial. And the other advantage of Coursera is they connect you then with employers who are looking for candidates with that same certification. In this case, it's the Google AI Professional Certificate, but Coursera has thousands of certifications there. So they connect people with the right employer for that. Ron, you want a list? Again, I would just ask Gemini. Now, I'm going to take 2 minutes because I do want a drink of water. I'm going to go mute myself, if I can figure out how to mute myself. I'm going to stop the share. I was about to say that I'm going to leave Karen here to mind the store for me, but no, Karen, you can take a break too. Yay!
I think let's all take a break.
I think so. Let's come back here
Yeah.
in 5 minutes.
5 minute break back here at 5 past.
Yeah, five
5 past
past.
the hour. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for those in India, that's at 35 minutes past. All right. Fingers crossed that people are back. Someone's, two people are having a good little chat there about LLMs being non-deterministic, and that's absolutely true. Every time you put in a question, even if it's the same question, the answer is very likely to be different. In fact, not very likely, but I would say probably 99% chances it's going to be different. Anyway, next step is we're going to talk about using AI for research and insights. I'm assuming everyone's back at their computer. I'm going to pretend you all are. Okay. So we're still talking about this whole new hire onboarding program. Um, this one is we'll be talking about the research best practices, how to integrate your own existing documents, and how to build a custom AI advisor. So if you've used custom GPTs, there's something very similar in Google called GEMS, and that's what we'll be using. And of course, we will again have some key takeaways. The homework, like for last time, is literally practice what you learned. On my slide, I just say you only do one. On the later slide, do one of the examples we learned, but really do them all. The whole point is to be very confident to these. George, your question is intriguing. How do you use these in landscape architecture? Well, again, you can always, if you've got best practices, you would put them into notebooks so that employees can just ask. Um, you could figure out, you could use Gemini to figure out what others in your business are doing. Like who's your local competition? What's better about their website? You can't hear me. Why can't you hear me? My mic is going up and down. So that's a little disturbing. Karen, can you hear me? Oh, thank you. All right. Freak me out. I'm very easy to freak out. Thanks. Okay, so that's the high level. We're going to use AI for deep research, more module LM, more notebook LM, and then we're actually going to build a gem. No, not go back, go forward. So, does anyone have any suggestions on how research is different than brainstorming? Like, what's different? Drop your answers in the chat. Going once, going twice. I'm just going to give you answers if you're not. Yes. Yep. Research is goal oriented. Absolutely. And it needs accredited sources. That's a very important one. Yes. Not everything has a scientific citation, but when your research deals with scientific stuff, or if you're dealing with legal anything, you want to be absolutely sure. But if you're doing the other kind of research that I was talking about, like find me all the landscape companies in a 20-mile radius and figure out what they're doing differently, figure out the one that's most successful, what are they doing, how are they getting their clients? Like it can do all of that. So that's the difference between research and brainstorming, right? Brainstorming is just knocking around ideas. Research is actually going on the web and finding things that support or refute your ideas. And again, AI does it so much faster that really you don't need to spend a lot of time. But again, always, yes, brainstorming people come up with different ideas. Yeah. And brainstorming with AI is actually a lot of fun, comes up with so many ideas. But I've also found that I often come up with ideas that AI doesn't think of because I know my context better. So it's very good to go back and forth. Harvey has a good prompt in there. Yep, step 0 research, step 1, sorry, step 0 brainstorm, step 1 research. Um, yeah. Jim has a good one. Brainstorm is what's inside your skull, research is what's outside. I like that. Inside my skull and inside the LLM's skull, which of course the LLM has a lot more in its skull. Okay, so now we're going to do deep research. Again, I'm just going to give you prompts you can paste, but the intelligent way to do this is to actually think for yourself and create the prompts you need. So give it a topic, open Gemini tools, deep research. It's not actually tools. I'll show you what it is. No. Okay, capture, fine. This took me a while. Okay, I'm going to gemini.google.com. Yes, that was really, really bright. No, I'm not going to do that. So when it says go to Gemini tools, right? It says Gemini tools, deep research. What you're actually going to do is go to Gemini, start a new chat. New chat is up there. And then ask Gemini. And that's where the tools are. Yeah. And deep research is different. It's now called extended thinking. Where is deep research? It's just built directly into the interface. Ha, it says it's not available. I'm going to bet that it actually is. It's just not available quite as deep there. So I'm going to go into extended thinking. And this is probably going to limit how long you can work in there because that's the most expensive tier. You saw it under the sign. I did not see it under the plus sign. There's upload files, create image, create music, and there's Canvas. I do not see it under the plus sign unless you've already got the paid version. Yes, anyone with a pro subscription will have it. So if you want to, you can get a pro subscription, either do the free trial. Google has apparently a 30-day free trial, or you can get a paid subscription straight off the bat. And of course, if your company offers it to you, you've got it there. So give it a topic, review the plan. Let's write a plan first. New chat, write a plan, then get the cited report, and then share it as an infographic. Jonathan, you don't remember signing up for a paid anything. I'm very pleased it's there for you, but it's not there for a lot of people. Okay, so open your browser, go in, let's make sure you're signed in, and let's get some initial ideas. First, you just say, I'm planning a new hire onboarding program. What trends should I be aware of? And for that, we're going to go here into the drive, look at course number 3, which is AI for Research and Insights. And labs and prompts. Just copy the prompt from there and paste it in. That's an interesting idea. It could be different depending on what country you're in. Yeah. I'm in Canada. Karen's in the UK. Okay, so we do that. I just pasted the prompt in there and gave me some answers. And in Germany, Michael says it's included in the free version. That's brilliant. So pick a specific trend or theme that you're interested in or that feels relevant to your organization. I'm not interested in pulse surveys. I'm not interested in manager satisfaction. Time to productivity, probably every manager is very interested in that. Yeah, you can try, George, and give it more context. And Jim is asking, why start your work outside of Notebook LM? Notebook LM is more, well, I guess you can, absolutely, because Notebook LM also does research. So that's another way to do it. Yeah. So pick one of those. And we're going to go use that for the deep research study. Tools, deep research. I'm planning a revamped new hire onboarding program. You know what? I'm going to stop share for a minute and go ahead and click upgrade just because it's not fair to do this. Sorry, Karen. I'm just trying to upgrade temporarily and get my free trial. Oh, that's annoying. My apologies, folks. I should have done this before the session started, but I didn't. Okay, that's annoying as heck. I am not able to do that right now. All right. So I'm going to come back and let's do it with Notebook LM. You guys can do that. Get your upgraded version and do it there. Here's I am going to copy. I'm not sharing screen, am I? That's useful. Share my screen. Okay. And where's my prompts gone? Not my prompts. Where's my thing gone? I lost my chat. That's what happened. Gemini.google.com. Revamping the new hire onboarding program. And I was talking about time to productivity. New eyes, everything capitals. New hire onboarding. Time to productivity. And again, add sources. Go find it from the web. Am I not in Notebook LM? I'm not. That's why. New hire onboarding revamp. And to productivity. And do the deep research there. Okay. And as you notice, it says planning. Please stay on this page. So you're getting Notebook to do the deep research for you, the same deep research that you could have got outside of Notebook. It's done the plan. So what you're missing by doing it through Notebook is that you don't get to approve the plan or give it more details about what to do. Yeah, it does definitely looks like it. Okay, someone actually got pasted back their response there. That's pretty good. And that's the plan. Yeah, temporary chat does definitely disappear. Okay. People are putting there. I don't think, okay, Perplexity has its own equivalent of deep research. Figure that one out. And you can do also, I think, deep thinking in ChatGPT, also in Claude. Yes, and the deep research thing, we're doing it in LLM, in Notebook LM, not in LLM, Notebook LM. This is a little bit slow because, of course, it's deep research. It's going to take time to find the sources that make sense for you. And I guess I should have interrupted it, or I should have focused on onboarding plans. This is the unfortunate part of AI, but it takes time, but remember, this is still a lot faster than anything you would do manually. You would take probably, I don't know, depending on what you're doing, half an hour to a couple of days. Um, that's fair. The problem is, though, unless you've got a paid subscription at least in Canada, you can't do that. I do have another one with a paid subscription and I could do it there, but that would mean me switching over. So for tomorrow, guys, get on a free trial for Google paid services because we will need that there. I thought most of today could be done without. And when you sign up for that free trial today, go back and do this exact same prompt there and do the deep research and see the difference in responses. Because you're right, if the answers from Notebook LM are different, you do want to use Gemini, not Notebook LM. Yep. Good heads up, Jim. And again, you've got other filters you can add depending on what your research is doing. Give it the fence, start the research. We've already started the research. Scroll through the full report. Note the citations. And then generate an infographic. Now, the same thing, obviously, we could do all of that in Notebook, just the quality of it is not quite as good as full research. And it's finally finished on mine, if you see that, top 20 sources. And I'm just going to say import. So import them all. We're just showing again how to use the tools. We're not saying that this is the definitive answer to everything. It's just one example. And once you get a paid version of Google Gemini, then you get it with Google Workspace. If your company is using a paid Google Workspace, you get it, like I said, with DeepSeek. Sorry, my brain's gone. Not with DeepSeek, with Google Skills and with Coursera, you get free trials. But again, that's a 7-day timer, so I'm stingy with that 7-day timer. I try not to do things there. And here we go. It's given me a little brief summary. It's given me a brief summary, and now I'm going to do like it suggested. I want to create of course it's possible, Alex. Go ahead and exchange contacts. Drop your LinkedIn. That's probably the easiest way. There we go. It's generating an infographic for me. I just clicked the infographic button there. If you've got deep research available on your main Gemini, then you just tell it literally to create the info. Yeah, you click the create and say create infographic. T1 sources. That's a lot of sources. I should maybe have only given it one source, but then it wouldn't be able to do that, would it? Thinking. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions, it's asking to pay now. Yet, are you trying to do the Google AI Professional Certificate from Coursera, Palak? If you are, then that's the pricing. I don't know what the pricing is in India. I would say go to Google Skills because it's free there. Do the 7-day free trial. You don't have to pay anything. You're not in Coursera and it's still doing that? That's surprising. So if I go to skills.google.com, and this is actually the path for the thing, and I go in, sign out, and sign in. Let's see which Google I sign in with. Let's take a different one. I think that was the same damn one. Okay, that was. Sign out again. Oh, please. I always lie to it. So seriously, that's annoying. But yes, once you jump through all those steps, it should tell you, it should literally give you skills.google.com free trial. I'm not going to do this here because this is just, yeah, it's just going to keep blocking me with wanting to scan my face. Forget that. It does, Kritika. Like I literally said, I did the entire course through that. Someone in India will have to verify. I don't know why it would be different there. If that's the case, I really apologize because I thought it was free for that. Where did my infographic go? There it is. That's a, if you want my opinion, that's an ugly infographic, but you can see that, it's got the core statistics there, the impact, the employee satisfaction, and the time to value. They're faster, they're more productive, quicker. So if you have a formal plan, it's going to work better for you. So this is, again, good reminder. The infographic is not a replacement for reading the full report. It's literally just a summary, right? This is great for, if you're doing some kind of things that you want to share with your colleagues, you want to maybe put it on social media. That's what infographics are for. Go put it in LinkedIn. You want the only skill that I'm going to say I would do is this one, except right now it's not going to let me do that because of the thing. Okay. Google's skills.google/paths. Skills.google/paths/3644. That's the one I did. So I'm not going in there right now. I'll try and get that signed in for tomorrow and show you guys how that works, which you will need because you'll need to be doing that. Okay, so this is the difference. Lab 1 was basically how to get a hunch, do research on that, and then share that with, share the results of your research. Now we're going to do summaries using Notebook. Yeah, a whole bunch of things. And again, if you don't have a bunch of documents, we will just use the same scenarios from the first course. So we'll go back to your Google Drive, and it's literally the same sample docs. Copy all 4 of them and go back into notebook.lm. I'm creating yet another new notebook and add sources or drop your files. Haha, there's a way to drop files. No, let's go to Google Drive. Okay, who was it that said they were able to? No, not that. Copy the link. Drop that into there. Okay, someone said they were able to select all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it doesn't let me do that. Oh, it does. Okay, that was my mistake. There you go, all 4. And it's got a summary right away. We're going to use that to then do all of this, right? Create a new notebook, upload the PDFs. And all you're going to say this time is summarize the key learnings in 1 page. I will drop that in the chat as well. Both chats, since everybody needs it. There we go. We've got a full summary now. You guys following along? I know this one was a little bit convoluted, but hopefully you're able to run this. Give me a 1 if you've got your report already. Yep, thank you. Awesome. People are beginning to finish that. Okay. So now let's do the second one. Oh, that was lab 2. What does a new hire need to do? See, they already, the notebook already suggested the next question. Ours is a little bit more complex. Jonathan, you said you had an issue editing your research plan. I wonder what happened. Care to share more details? So this has already gone through, looked at those 4 documents I gave it, and said what to do, like what those new hires need to do. They've got to complete certain forms. This is pretty standard. I mean, right now it's obviously US based, but you'll have local for whatever it's your country. Didn't go into an edit mode. It just kept repeating the first prompt. If that happens again, Jonathan, just go to start a new chat and try again. Sometimes it just gets totally confused. So this is Step 3, we're going to generate additional formats. I already showed you quickly in the previous lab in course 1, but let's do it for real now, right? Basically, you're going to do audio, video, or a mind map, any or all of them. I'm going to drop that in the chat. And to do that, you just literally click on each of those, right? We already did an infographic. I'm going to try mind map this time. But do whichever one you guys want. So an audio overview, a video overview, a mind map. And after this session is done, between today and tomorrow, and definitely before you do your exams and quizzes and get the certification, definitely lean into this. Explore each of these, figure out the reports, figure out what a quiz looks like, a data table, flashcards. Flashcards, again, are very useful if you're trying to study something, learn something. Mind map, again, takes time. So we are going to be sitting here. Nope, it's done. That was quicker than I thought. And this is your standard mind map format. You can dig deeper into various things. HubSpot certification. I guess this is a company that has HubSpot certification requirements. And then there's future milestones by day 60, what you should have. Cool. Pretty. Oh my goodness, I just put that in the chat and forgot to hit enter. I'm very good at forgetting to hit enter. That was it, lab 2. 42 minutes in, are we going to make it? Lab 3. So now what we're going to do is, this is literally the equivalent of custom GPTs in ChatGPT. If you've not used them, what it is you're telling the AI to play the role of a specific kind of expert. And then you can go back and forth with it and ask questions relating to that. You've probably seen several of these. If you come to any of our older workshops, you might have seen the one we did. Karen made one for, sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the word, your resolutions for New Year. And also, you can expand that into business resolutions, or your business timeline, your Q4 planning. Like, you can build a GPT or a gem or whatever the equivalent in Claude is. I'm drawing a blank for literally anything that basically has a persona and an area of expertise, so you can use it over and over without having to tell it each time, you are a auto mechanic expert. Tell me how to troubleshoot this thing that's happening in my car. You would just pull up the gem and say, this is what's happening in the car. So you can, this is actually really good. Like we've been keeping on saying, the AI itself can help you generate what to put into the AI to teach it what that expert looks like. And of course, once you build it, you can share it with everybody on the team. So right now we will say we've got an onboarding plan, but it's not validated, right? So you want a seasoned outside expert to challenge that plan. And we will do that with a gem. So this is really fun. This is literally getting AI to do what you want. So to tell you what to put in the prompt. So the first prompt we're going to do is, what are the key characteristics of a highly competent employee, of a highly competent employee experience consultant? This is why we keep saying that the consultant's role is going away, because the AI can answer that question for you. I'm going to close the notebook. Now I'm going to go back to Gemini. I started a new chat again. So this time I'm going to literally copy everything it says, except probably for that last sentence. Yeah, copy everything, which we will paste into the next one. And what we do with that is copy it and add in the things around that. So create the gems and then put in before that, before this, before and after. Palak, I'm going to have to do some research on that because I don't know whether there's a way to get that certificate for free in India. I thought it was the same across the world, but clearly not. So there's two parts to the prompt. First, you go before, you do the before part, and then you do the after. So when I say before and after, I'll show you what I mean. So on that Gemini thing, I pasted in the plan that the expert persona that it gave me, and then I'm pasting in what my role in the company is. And before it, I'm going to paste in the you are whatever bit. Does that make sense? Oh, wait, no, I'm not doing that there. I'm doing that in gems, isn't it? Never mind. Apologies. So what you do is now you want to create a gem. You click on the tool there at the bottom on the settings, the gear icon, and go to gems. And you see top right, new gem. You say here this. Here's everything it copied from the previous one. Your key characteristics include, here's everything it told me. And after that, I do this last bit.
My Binu is asking, where is the gem document?
When you say gem document, what do you mean specifically? To find where to create a gem, it's, if you look at my screen on the bottom left, it's got my name, and next to that, it's got the gear icon. And I just clicked gem here. Yeah. If you mean where to find the prompts, it's again in your course 3, AI for Research and Insights, and in your labs and prompts for that, you've got the steps in lab 3. So going back here, where's my gem? And I just paste. So I pasted in the before right at the top. You are a highly competent employee. In between, I pasted in the characteristics of a highly competent person. And finally, at the bottom, I said, I'm the person leading a revamp thing. So that's how you use that prompt. Mini app is a new kind of gem from blah. Okay, I will do that later. I will not play with that right now. I just want it to do what I asked it to do, creating my gem. And it says it's powered by Google Labs, not Gemini apps. Be sure to double check it. Yeah, I'm not surprised it would ask questions. I'm going to sit here quietly. Are there any questions in the chat? Nope. Someone on YouTube asked, will we have this meeting recording? Yeah, it'll stay there as either a live stream right there, or I will actually make an edited version and put it on the main content. So it'll be on videos. Yeah, this is going very fast. So I kind of understand if you're not able to keep up, but it is going to be back there. The YouTube live stream link. I'm going to tell you to just go search or click on this link and you'll see the current live. And if you go to their live streams on that channel, you'll see the live. Am I going to share the chat as well? Which chat am I sharing, Justin? I'm not sure I get the question. The Zoom chat. Do you need the Zoom chat? Click, okay, on the chat, there should be 3 dots at the top that lets you save chat. So if you need that, save it there. I suddenly had a bit of paranoia that maybe we were not recording this, but luckily we are. Yay. Wow, this is slow. I do not have patience to wait, as anybody who knows me will tell you. But in the meantime, if you've got questions, ask. And I hope you're also doing this in your own on your own computer. What else can I do while I'm waiting? I can go look at my thing. Once it's done, we will click save. Yay. Christina's asking that it took me around 10 hours. You have the ability to do it at your own pace, yes. But I will remind you that if you're trying to do it for free, then that certification free trial is only 7 days. And you basically sign up, start taking the courses. The video links that I gave you at the beginning, it's also in your attendee handout. This is the official Google Drive. Sorry, this is the official YouTube playlist. And if you click on that, it's got all the videos for the 7 courses. So, each of those is in there. So you can watch all of those well before you click on sign up for the free trial. So watch them, practice the labs, or watch my training, practice the labs from there. And when you're confident, that's when you sign up for the thing. And since I use AI all the time, I was super confident. So I just did it in one day. Like it took me 10 hours, but that's all it took. Can I share this document again? This document is in your Google Drive. So if you look at the Google AI Professionals, you will see the very first thing there is the AI handout, attendee handout. And then it's got all that detail about, the YouTube playlist, the Google Drive, the Zoom link, even in case you forget, plus our community on high level. I apologize, I haven't put any content in there, but go ahead and sign up. And as I add content, it'll show up. Are we done? No, we're still planning. Hurry up. Okay, so all you have to do is once this is done, you click save, and then you start asking questions again. That's it. The documentation link on Google Drive is literally here. I will put that in the chat. Attendee handout. So YouTubers get it too. Okay, this is apparently going to take a while. It hasn't taken this long before, so I think this is a good space to stop for this session, for this course, because this is just, you're going to be questioning, asking some questions. What are the biggest risks in a 30-day onboarding plan? How many weeks should it really take? And we'll come back to this maybe at the start of the next session. But right now, I will give everyone another 5-minute break. And remember that these are the 3 basic things we did. We did some deep research. We faked it with Notebook LM because it wasn't showing up on a free trial for some people, and I wasn't ready there. What I will do is I will add a section, I'll add a little video showing you how to use the deep research because that's unfair to not show you that. And it'll be linked from this live stream. And we also created gems, and we used Notebook LM, looked at audio, looked at video, looked at the mind map that it generated. And again, the homework says run one of these tools. I would say don't run one, run them all over and over again until you feel comfortable. And the next course is going to be AI for writing and communicating. Give you a 5-minute break again. Let's meet, well, let's make it 8 minutes, 9 minutes. I'll see you at 12:05 EDT, which is 9:05 Pacific. And I guess, what's the time? That would be 9:35 in India. Anyone else in between, figure out your time. 5 minutes, 7 minutes from now. Okay. So again, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go on mute. I'm going to turn off my video. This is your opportunity, as usual, to catch a break. You need a washroom. You need to go eat something, drink some water, get some caffeine into you, whatever you need. See you back again at 5 minutes after. Is everyone back? I'm back. Yep, that's the playlist. That's correct, Tatiana. Okay. So we're now going to do today's last course, AI for Writing and Communication. Most of you have already got this done. Can someone paste the... No, you can't. I've got to paste it. It's actually pasted right up here in YouTube on the top. It's pinned at the top of the chat. It's right there. So we're going to go into number 4. And that is AI for Writing and Communication. And here are the prompts for that. So let's go back in here. Of course, it would have helped if I started the correct presentation, wouldn't it? Writing and communicating. Here we go. And let's present. And yes, I use Gamma because I love Gamma. Okay. So this time we're going to do meeting notes to an action plan. We're going to pressure test a proposal, make Gemini test it. We're going to tailor this to different audiences. And then we're going to practice different talking points with Gemini Live. That last one requires Gemini on your phone, which of course I should have installed. Okay, you can also go ahead and install it right now as we're doing this. So just get the, it's literally, instead of typing, you're going to be talking to Gemini. So what this is, first of all, you tell it, as usual, you need to tell it what you want it to do. The AI doesn't know what the priorities are for your audience. So you've got to tell it that. Of course, you've still got to make sure that it sounds like you. And if it doesn't, then, well, make it sound like you. Correct whatever the wording is that, you know, if you would never say piece of cake and it's using piece of cake, don't do that. And of course, everything that you need to make sure you don't want it to send email. And sometimes, of course, it's not a email. Am I breaking up? Oh dear, my voice is fading. Tell you what else do I have running? Of course, I've got a few other things running that I shouldn't have had. Hope that helps. You know what? I'm also going to turn off my video. Will that help? You want me to repeat the last minute? Okay. The last minute was simply me saying that communication is not, it's not just telling people something. You've got to actually think about what you want the message to convey. What do you want the other person to feel? Are you trying to de-escalate a situation? Are you trying to just inform them? And then there's the audience knowledge. The AI doesn't know the priorities of your audience. So, you know, your client's frustrations, your CEO's priorities, your manager's priorities, your priorities, it doesn't know. Once you give it all of that and it gives you an output, you've still got to make sure that it's sounding like you. So the email that's going out needs to sound like you, right? It can't suddenly sound like AI. And of course, double check, triple check everything before you hit send. And the last thing is, it's not always an email that's the correct action. Sometimes you just need to go walk over to the other person's desk and talk to them one-on-one, or give them a quick phone call, or, you know, these days, FaceTime, Zoom, whatever. So first module is basically between making a presentation and taking notes, right? So meetings will produce one shared conversation and 3 different memories, of course, and probably 4 different memories. I like that, Jonathan. Say bruh at least twice and make a 6-7 reference. Oh no. Are we still talking 6-7? I thought 6-7 was done. Like, wasn't that like last month? Anyway, so you want to give Gemini a persona, specify the exact sections you need, don't let it guess, and ask Gemini to grade its own output. Yeah, Jonathan, your kids are over it. It's really funny because people my age, like, the boomers, they're doing the 6-7 now, and the younger ones are looking at them going, why? Anyway, yeah. Okay. So here's the example, right? In the sample docs folder, again, go to your Google Drive, look at your sample docs, and you've got it right there. Onboarding status is number 1. So let's look at number 1 right there. Open up that PDF. It's got everything in there that you need. That's the source file. So in Gemini, you want to again start a fresh chat. This will take about 10 minutes. Let's go Gemini. Okay, new chat. Attach the PDF, then prompt it. So I'm going to upload a file. You could add it from the drive. Agreed. Is it in this drive or the other one? I can't even remember. Nope, it's the other one. Oh, that was fun. Okay, I'm just going to download it locally and upload it from my computer. Documents, cool. Just added that file in there. There's a million ways to upload it, right? I just drag and drop because sometimes that's the first. So then you upload the PDF, then send the prompt. So it makes sure that Gemini has finished processing, right? You saw when I dropped it in, it had that little, I'm still thinking. This now is clearly already uploaded. And I'm going to say step 1. This is our AI communication. We're going to say acting as a senior project manager, do all of this. I'll drop that in the chat for you guys as well. I'm going to drop it in the chat here if it works. I don't know. Nope, it's too long. So, okay, I'll maybe do it as 2 sentences for YouTube. Yeah, so put all of that in there. Okay, now what? Paste it in. And hit enter. And I've also told it like what I want as the output, a concise summary, a bulleted list of decisions, and a detailed table of action items. And it has a PDF ready for me. There's the concise summary, the decisions we're taking, and the action items. So this is basically, someone was on a meeting. This is what we discussed. These are the decisions we made. And based on those decisions, these are the action items that are left. It's already said who owns it, what the deadline is. So again, when you're doing this, if it's a real example, we're just using a sample, but make sure to double check against your original transcript that these action items are correct, that the decisions you made are correct. So don't just assume it's correct. That's all I'm trying to say. And note, if anything's missing, that's pretty important. So fix that. This is your step. Now, again, you can do it manually. That's a little bit of a pain. You can literally ask AI to go reevaluate in the same chat. Yeah. So do a quick sanity check right in there. Just one sentence. Evaluate the report using these 3 criteria: brevity, clear action items, and accuracy. And why does this work? Because Gemini has full context, right? It has the transcript. It also has the report that it just generated. So let's see, were there any gaps? I'm going to put that in there. Putting it in the chat for Zoom and also for YouTube. So go back there. And then, of course, I'm going to put it into my own Gemini chat. Do it in the same chat that we just got the report from. And look at that. It gives itself an excellent rating. Clear action items. Accuracy is correct. Okay. So it could not find any gaps. What's missing? Sometimes even when it gives itself a good score, it's worth saying. And look at that. Yeah, the table says that Dana Liu was the sole owner. The transcript explicitly states that Dana will give the draft to both Morgan and Priya. So omitting reviewers and stakeholders can lead to miss. I like that. Rohan was very smart. He took this and stuck it in ChatGPT. And that's actually a brilliant way to do this. You should always play the LLMs against each other. In fact, I've even done I'll get an output from one LLM and stick it back into the same LLM in a new chat and say, can you evaluate this? Another LLM generated it. And it'll pick out the holes. So that's actually, in fact, I'm going to take this PDF. Where is it? Where'd it go? Where's my PDF? I don't want to open it. I want to download it. Yes. Download it. Go ahead. You guys can see my extremely messy output. Let's go back into Gemini. Upload from my downloads folder. And ask it again, can you evaluate this based on these 3 criteria? Let's see if it still says excellent. Oh, all right. Minor room for improvement for action items. Okay. Pretty good. And if Gemini flags an issue, ask it to fix it. I didn't ask because this is, again, just an example. So you basically learned now how to take the transcript and actually generate action items from there. extremely useful, right? You no longer need to have a secretary sitting there. I mean, not that we've done that for probably 2 years now, because every meeting tool has some kind of a summary generator, except for all the Python in the download. Okay, that was someone's comment here. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is pressure testing a proposal. So you've all been in this situation, right? You're making a presentation, or in this case, a proposal, and you get a question that you should have anticipated and you hadn't. Eh, that's not so good. You get stumped. I personally, if I'm doing a training on about an LLM, I have a very good out. I simply say, go ask the LLM. We've got Ejimo for saying that he's not sure about playing LLMs against each other. There are issues about different machine learning algorithms and generated bias. That's fine. But the point is, you're just using it as a sanity check, right? If there's gaping holes that one LLM didn't catch, sometimes another LLM would be able to catch it. I'm not saying you must do it. I'm just saying it's a good way to try. It's a good thing to try. Okay, so for the proposal, we're now going to give the AI a persona, kind of like we did with gems, and surfaces the gaps, what's missing, ask it what's missing from their point of view, then iterate, give it a fix, ask the persona whether it actually resolves the problem. And you can also stack multiple personas. So you can run the document through multiple of these people. This is not so much, the LLM Council of Karpathy. Tell me more about that. I have not looked at that. And Palak, yes, I will try and find out if it's possible for people in India to take that course for free. Um, okay, so the source file again, it's in our sample documents. Let's go grab it. This is the one-pager proposal. Okay. And I am actually, what are we doing with this? We're uploading that. It's light on budget detail. Start a new chat. Attach the PDF. So I'm going to download the PDF. Actually, I already have it here, but you can download it and reattach or attach it from Google Drive. Oh, I like that. 5 LLMs consulting each other and deciding upon the best result. That's the Council of LLMs that Karpathy's created, and that's George's summary of it. Okay, so I've downloaded this, and now I'm going to, wait, was that in a new chat? Yep, new chat. So new chat, ask Gemini, upload files. Certification for sample docs. Get this one pager. Upload it. And give it that prompt. No, don't do that. The prompt is, I'm working on a proposal for a revamped blah. For YouTube, I'm putting it in 2 pieces just because it's too long, a little bit too long to do it in one piece. But also you just go to the Google Drive and grab it from there. Okay, so here I'm just going to paste in that whole thing. proposal is missing the concrete data. That's exactly what the thing told us, right? That this is really light deliberately so that you can see deliberately light on budget detail and the success metrics. So now it's actually telling you that it's missing that. And the proposal leaves some blind spots on the budget. So this is, again, you've told it at the beginning, remember that it is a head of operations, and you're going to keep that persona going. And here's the response we're giving it. I should probably grab it from there. You provided feedback. Again, paste it in. Paste it in. Oh boy. In YouTube, again, I split this up into 3 pieces. It's being a pain. Yeah. Grab it from the disk is probably the easiest. From the drive is probably the easiest. So we gave it some hard numbers now. Ross, you're asking for the link to the Google prompts. The prompts are in your Google Drive. The Google Drive that I gave you, just go to AI for writing and thing and go to the labs and prompts from there, from chapter 4. So it's all in there. Now it's still giving you some gaps, right? It's saying, oh, you gave me some information, but not more. Reducing time to productivity is a fantastic target. You need to explain how you will measure that. It's a good pushback. So if Gemini says yes, resolves it, you're not convinced, ask what else might raise a flag. In fact, let's ask what else would raise a flag in an actual approval meeting. And that's a good point. What are the risks? What are the friction points? Scope creep. 5 new hires, 2 departments. Marketing and sales, this might work, but what if it's engineering or data science? That might be a whole different kettle of fish. That is true. Always use a planning step up front, as someone suggested. Why do you want me to use a bazillion tokens, Jonathan? That's kind of mean. I don't want to. On the other hand, if I used a bazillion tokens in here, you know what would happen? It would blow up in the sense that it would tell me I ran out of tokens. This is a free account. So yeah, always fun. Okay, you want the link to the labs. All right, let me see if I can just do that. Labs prompt, share the link. In there. And if I'm sharing it there, I might as well share to YouTube as well. Enjoy. So back to the training. So it gave you, like, we pushed back. We said, what else is what else might raise a flag? Gemini told me a few more details. Lack of a plan B. Always have a plan B. You know that as project managers and program managers. And then step 3 is you want an updated summary. Tighten up the language for the one-pager. So again, how would you write a 2-sentence summary? That's what tightening up the language means. It's simply saying, make it brief, make it concise. Now that was extremely concise. Okay. And again, this is obviously now a much better draft. And, what would you have done manually? Look at the differences in tone and specificity. And it's useful to do that because, like we said earlier, you need it to sound like you. So always double check. And again, think back to presentations you've made, proposals you've made. Which questions took you off guard? The idea isn't to predict every question, it is to choose the most, it's to get familiar with answering the most obvious ones before the real audience asks. When I was defending my thesis, for example, it would have been great to have something like this because, yeah, there were questions that came out of left field, and I was like, I haven't thought of that. So now, of course, we go to the next lab, which is basically tailoring our communications by audience, right? Because the same presentation, if a CEO reads it versus a new hire, their lens on it is very different. So you shouldn't give them the same presentation, is what I'm trying to say. An investor has a different lens, a buyer has a different lens, a vendor has a different lens. So you want to customize for each. And that's where Gemini's Canvas helps. It's used for doing exactly that. You can create, draft and edit documents interactively. So lab 3 is the next setup. The scenario is that the onboarding program has launched. You now need to communicate the results to your CFO, who cares about cost and ROI, and to the operations manager, who's more interested in the execution quality. Same facts, but very different emails. Okay. And again, go back to your labs and look at lab 3 this time. Okay. Start a new chat, attach the launch report PDF. That's in here in your sample docs. And that's sample number 3. That's your launch report PDF. And it's giving you, basic information about that. I am going to start a new chat, upload that from local, sample docs number 3. And let's go get the prompt. So I'm the VP of People Operations. I'm a VP. Nice. I like being a VP. And again, let's do that for YouTube as well. All we're trying to do is now pull 5 key points from the document that I can use in my message. Back to Gemini. In your company-wide email, you can do all of this. Drastic reduction in time to productivity from 45 days to 30 days. Very nice. That's, shaved off 2 whole weeks, 33% improvement. We will be using both Google Chat, Gemini Chat, and Canvas. So first step is we did that, pull 5 key steps. Now what we're going to do in the same chat, we put a follow-up prompt, which is basically for two key stakeholders, like we said, the CFO and the operations manager. So let's go grab those prompts. Step 2, and drop that in the thing for each audience and for YouTube as well. Sorry guys, on YouTube, you're seeing this twice, aren't you? Because you're seeing yourself in there, which must be kind of weird. Okay, and now I'm going to paste that in for myself as well. Think about their priorities based on their roles and the points I should highlight for each. You guys aren't just watching me, right? You're doing this yourself, pasting it in. Give me a 1 in the chat if you are just watching me, because that is not a good use of your time. Seriously, Vinod, you're just watching me, you're not doing it? Do it, do it. Doing it also. Oh, I like that. You're doing it and watching. Don't you 6-7 me. Yes, I saw what you did. Okay, so now the points should skew towards CFO would want to worry about ROI, time savings, budget performance, whereas the ops manager is more interested in execution, adoption rates, timeline adherence. Now, did it do that? Yeah, budget performance, fiscal impact, time to productivity, and then for the operations manager, bandwidth, process optimization, and structured rollout. Great. So it's doing kind of what we expect. Now let's use Canvas to actually draft the emails to both. So you basically would click plus and then Canvas. So here, plus and Canvas. And at this point, we're saying draft the email to the CFO. Make sure you're in Canvas mode. Let's go to this. Okay. Yeah, of course, you need to do something like, change that to be their actual name. And want to attach this. So again, notice that it's not sending, it's merely creating that draft for you to review. If it doesn't sound like you, change that. Yeah. And I've attached this here, blah, blah, blah. All of that, okay? Strong CFO email leads with the financial outcome, uses bullet points as evidence, is 150 words. Now, is this less than 150 words? I don't think so. So I'm just going to do something very silly, go into a little document editor, type that in there. Let's soft wrap text. Where did the soft wrap go there? What I want to do is count how much this is. Hi, CFO, best regards, blah. This is 252 words. So that is clearly a bit longer than it said it should be. So we want it to be 150 words. Can you tighten this up? 150 words max. And remember, you don't need to give it full sentences. It can actually do it without all of that. You can specify word count. It won't do it exactly, but it's got it smaller now. Okay, that looks better. And then now you need to do the same thing, but yeah, we did the inline edit already. Make this more direct, remove jargon. You can also do adjust the tone to be warmer, add a specific call to action. And then you do the same thing, but now this time you do it for the ops manager, right? So go back there, go back to your chat, and I would literally just copy my prompt there said draft the email to the CEO. Just copy that, make sure you're still in Canvas, and this time say ops manager. And it'll do the same thing and you refine the same thing. Yep, that is formal. And there you go. Again, you've got a longer thing. Maybe your ops manager likes it longer. Say, let's say give more details. Our ops manager loves details. This is actually very unlikely because most managers are looking for short and sweet, but here I just asked it to do a longer one. Yep, and it put more content in there. Yeah, if I was a manager, I would yell at this person for giving me such complicated, long-winded emails. Guys, you're very quiet. Are you actually doing the labs? Is that what's happening? I'm very curious. So basically, what Canvas helps you do is that it lets you take one source of data and then just reframe it for different people, which I really like. You can also think about doing this, if you're creating social media posts, your audience can be different, right? Again, if you've got two personas, one that you're talking directly to customers and one that you're talking to your vendors, Canvas can help you with that. Just creating different sets of posts. Okay, now comes the fun one, which is talking to Gemini Live. Anyone need a quick break before we do that? Because we need to install it on our phone. And this one, actually, I'm going to leave it to you guys to do on your own because there's no real, you'd like a break? All right, let's take a 5-minute break. We'll go a little bit longer than planned. So instead of 3 hours, it'll be 3 hours and 10 minutes, 3:15. Go ahead and take a break. Come back here at, in 5 minutes. So 12:50 my time. Whatever time that is in India. So 10:20, something like that. Talking to Gemini Live, it's no, the test doesn't have you actually talking to Gemini Live. It literally just asks you questions about what happens when you do things. That's all. And as the thing says, Gemini works only in the Gemini Live works only in the mobile app. And this is actually one of my favorite things to do is talk to the AI. Because we talk faster than we write. Thinking is the fastest, talking is the next, and then writing is the slowest. Typing is faster than writing by hand. I'm just filling time, by the way. I'm giving people 5 minutes, take a break. Again, bio break, water, food, whatever you need. It's noon now, and apparently my mom is knocking on my door going, "Are you coming out today?" No, I'm not. I'm hiding. It wants me to sign in. I don't want to sign in, but fine. This is fun. I'm not signed in on my phone. Am I taking a nap? No, not yet. I could. I'm scrolling my phone to see if I have my password anywhere for Google. With you. Okay. Darn it. This is very annoying. I still have 2 minutes. So I am going to go here and see if I can do that. See, this is the advantage of having two computers. I don't have to turn off screen share for this. 20 minutes, 11 minutes. We have, yeah, about 20 minutes, I would say. And mostly that's just going to be me talking, which I mean, amazing. You would not have expected that, but I'm having so much fun. Are you guys having fun at all? Yes, we meet again tomorrow. And in the meantime, between today and tomorrow, we should try our very best to Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I see it here. Let's double check. That's what's going on. Okay. So apparently, if you're using Yahoo Mail, you cannot have the same view in both and change in one view and expect it to be persistent. I need to study too much this evening. Well, yeah. Or you can wait, just pace yourself, right? You can leave it for tomorrow. Don't do the homeworks today. Come in tomorrow and do the rest of the workshops, and then slowly over the next week, take your time and go through one course at a time. Watch the Google videos, watch my videos, like one at a time. This is very annoying. Okay, sometimes the best solution is just to actually send it by email, isn't it? Sorry for the extra slowness. Uh, there we go. I might finally be able to do what I was trying to do, which was simply log into Gemini. Got to be kidding me. Okay. Oh, good Lord. It's really frustrating. I'm going to say, let's pick this up tomorrow because it's being a real pain in the butt. So, does that help anyone? Thank you. I promise I'll come with Gemini on my phone. Um, Also, just practice it yourself, right? You've got the lab prompts in there, lab 4, and all you need to do is go into the lab, talk to Gemini, get your answers. You don't need to watch me do this. You can do this yourself. Yay! Congratulations, Eva. You got yours working. I have not. That's shameful, but hey, that's life. This is the reality of live training. Yeah. Um, Obviously, when I did my exam a couple of weeks ago, I didn't do the live. You want the course one folder? I can put that in there right now if you want. Where is it? There's AI fundamentals. What course one doesn't have though is the, okay, I'm just going to go. It doesn't have the labs thing in there. I'll put that in later today. This one is PDFs. Nope. going to do is select all the PDFs and dump them in there. How about that for easy? And then go to Google Drive, go up one level, maybe up one more level. Yeah. And where shall we go? PDFs from Google, dump it in there. No, not into course 4. Right. What I meant to do was put a folder here. Course 1, AI Fundamentals. So you can see me do this on the fly. So much fun. Click this and move it to AI Fundamentals. Yep, go ahead. And as you can see, PDFs from Google are there. I will put in a labs document there, but you know, give me a little bit of time for that. All right, last set of questions. Anyone? Anyone? I will also put in tomorrow's questions in there. Yeah, I have also used voice on Claude and ChatGPT. I just never did it on Gemini. That's all. Mark is asking for people. Yeah, Mark, I don't use password managers because I don't trust them. Of course, the flip side for that is that I have to play these little games like you just saw me doing. So if anyone missed the beginning or missed 10 minutes because you had to go somewhere or answer a call, all you do is go into the live stream and watch it from there. And the live stream is youtube.com/@practical AI skills. And then go to streams and you will see it there. Yeah. And Eva was asking, she's not very clear when to use Notebook LM when just to stick to chat. Chat is when you just want to talk back and forth, right? You're asking it questions, it's giving you answers. Notebook LM is when you have like a whole bunch of documents or a bunch of websites, like you want to restrict it to a small subsection of everything it knows. That's what you use Notebook LM for. So, if your company has onboarding docs or it has a set of FAQs, it has details, if it's creating, if it's a manufacturing firm, it's got the operating procedures there. You point Notebook LM at that specific set of documents, and then ask questions based on that, or have it, give you a summary, an audiobook, a podcast, an audio podcast, or create a whiteboard video, that sort of thing. Yes, Notebook LM is to control the source versus letting the LMs go crazy on everything it finds. Check permissions to download the files, please. From which, okay, you're saying you're not able to download. Why is that? Because the main Google folder itself has been set to, let's look, Google AI Professional Certificate. If I look at share, that one says anyone with the link can grab it. So can you tell me which specific one you're having trouble with, Rohan? You couldn't download, but you made up synthetic docs. Okay, so Eva's had that same problem too. All right, let me check. Share. It's anyone with the link. For all of these, it should be anyone with the link. Yeah. I don't know what's going on where you're not able to do. Just weirdly, just don't download and keep getting an error. All folders, PDFs from sample docs. Okay, let's look at sample docs. Share says everybody with the link can share it. So if I say download, it downloads. Yep, for me it downloads. No problems. And if I look at my download folder, It's right there. Yeah. I'm wondering if it's just some kind of problems. Okay, one thing you need to do is probably be logged into Google because this is Google Drive. There may be something weird going on with that. I don't know. Okay, so most people are saying there's no issues. I don't know how else to get this to you because if I make it a zip file and try to send it, most email programs will not let me send it. There you go. That's even better. Just go to the top of the drive. So if not even there, if I go to Google Professional, AI Professionals, can I just download the whole thing? Yeah, I can download the whole thing as one single zip file. That's fun. Okie doke. So that was our session for today. Thank you all for, yep, and there's the zip file that it downloaded. Thank you all for your patience, for hanging in with me for this whole session. I know it's been really long. Those in India, you're up till about well after midnight, so really appreciate you. And tomorrow, more fun. I will try and get my Google AI Pro version on so that we can revisit that, and then I'll record a quick little video on doing that deep research. I am not recording myself talking to Gemini live, so you guys can experiment with that on your own. Same time tomorrow, yep. See you then. Enjoy your weekend, afternoon, evening, morning, whatever's left of this day. Yeah, same time, same link. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys. And Karen, thank you so much for your help. Really helpful. Bye. Okay, I don't know what I closed, but clearly not Zoom. I thought I was closing Zoom. Stop the share and end. Good night, everybody. Good day, good something.